so we are going to talk about measures of central tendency again, and we've done this already. So this should be review, right? We did this before MCA testing, and hopefully most of it's a review, but there is something new I want to talk a little bit about. So, we are going to review what mean, median, mode, range, and outliers are, but then we're going to talk about when is it appropriate to use each measure of central tendency. When would you use the mean? When would you use the median? Okay, it's good to know how to find them, but also good to know when to use them. So let's start with, what are they? Okay, measures of central tendency are used to describe the center of the data. So fill in that blank. The center of the data. Okay, so the mean, the median, and the mode are measures of central tendency. The range is not. Does the range tell you the center of the data? No, the range tells you the spread of the data. Okay, so remind me, because these things you guys should know, what's the mean? What is mean? What does that mean? Brinley. Okay, what's another word for mean?
Average.
Average. So mean is average. You add the numbers together. And divide by how many there are. Okay, remind me what median is. Go ahead, Brittany.
The center of a line of numbers from least to greatest.
Okay, so it's the middle number, the middle number of a set of ordered data. Or the average of the two middle numbers. Can there be more than one median? Mm-mm. There can only be one. There can only be one median. Okay? What does mode mean? Izzy?
The values that occur the most.
Good. The values, the value or values that occur the most. Okay, the one that occurs the most. Can there be more than one mode? Yes, that there can be. Okay? And then the range is what? How do we find range? Remember? Savannah?
The greatest and least number divided.
Not divided. Subtracted. Okay, so it's the high number minus the low number. Okay, and it's going to tell us the spread of the data. It's going to tell us how spread out it is. Okay, remembering those things? Remember we did that a couple weeks ago? Okay. Then, do we have that written down? No? Need a second? I'll give you a second. Okay, so then we also have this. The blank is a value that is either far less than or far greater than the rest of the values. What do we call that? What do we call the number that's much bigger or much smaller than everything else? Izzy?
The outlier?
The outlier. Okay, the outlier is either much bigger or much smaller than the rest. Okay, so if we look at the next slide, we have this. Identify the outlier in the data set, and then determine how the outlier affects the mean, median, mode, and range. And look at that set of numbers. What's the outlier? Yeah. 51 is the outlier. Okay, if we look at that set of numbers, 21, 21, 28, 29, 28, and 32 are all really close to each other. And then you've got 51. 51 is quite a bit higher than all the rest. If this was a group of people hanging out and that was their ages, but you have one 51-year-old, you'd probably say, well, that person's much older than everybody else, right? Okay. Okay, so we're going to do two things here. I'm going to change how we see this. Okay, so the next two slides, one says figure out all these numbers without the outlier, and one says figure them out with the outlier. Okay, so let's do it without the outlier first. So let's just cross off the 51. Let's pretend that wasn't there. Okay, if we did not have the outlier, how would I find the mean? How do I find the mean? Tyler.
Add all the numbers up, 51 divided by all the numbers.
Okay, add them all up. So we do 21 plus 21 plus 28 plus 29 plus 28 plus 32. I got 159. Make sure you hit equals there. What should I divide by? Go ahead, Tyler. 6, because I added 6 numbers up. So I'm going to divide by 6. 159 divided by 6 is 26.5. Okay, 26.5. How about the median? How am I going to find the median? What do I have to do first? Caleb.
Put the numbers in order.
Put them in order. Okay, so in order from least to greatest, we have 21, 21, 28, 28, 29, 32. Okay, then we work our way towards the middle. So I cross off low number, high number, low number, high number. There's 2 numbers in the middle. What's the middle of 28 and 28? 28. Okay, if you're not sure, add them up and divide by 2. 28 plus 28 is 56 divided by 2 is 28. So our median is 28. Okay, what's the mode? The number, the value or values that occurs the most is what, Brinley? 28 and 21. 21 and 28. Remember, there can be more than one mode or there could be no mode. When is there no mode? Tyler.
If there's not more than one number.
Right, if they all show up the same amount of times. Okay, and then we have the range. The highest number minus the lowest number. So the highest number is 32, minus the lowest is 21. 32 minus 21 is 11. So that's our range. Okay. Easy enough? Now I want you to do the next one, but now I want you to do it with the outlier. Leave the 51 there. Okay, I want you to take a minute and try to find all those numbers. The mean, the median, the mode, and the range. But this time, include the 51. Use your calculator. For the mean. Okay, what do you get for the mean? Anybody have any? Exactly. 30. because you have to do the 159 plus 51, so you have 210 divided by 7, the mean is 30. Okay, what was the median? Go ahead. 28. The median was still 28. If I put 51 on the end here, and now work my way to the middle, I still end up with 28 in the middle. Okay, what's the mode? Savannah? 21 and 28. What's the range? Really? 30, because it's 51 minus 21. Because now the high is 51, so the range is 30. How did the outlier affect the mean? What happened to the mean because of the outlier? Because of the old person in the group, what happened? Brooklyn. It went higher, right? The mean went up. What happened to the median? Stayed the same. What happened to the mode? Stayed the same. What happened to the range? It went up. What would have happened if there would have been a really young person in the group? What would have happened to the mean? Like, say there was a 7-year-old with the group. Then what would have happened?
It would have went lower.
It would have went lower, right? What would have happened to the range? Would have it still went up? It would have, right? There would have still been a bigger spread. So, a couple of things to notice. The mean is going to go up or down depending on where the outlier is. Agree with that? If the outlier is on the upper end, your average is going to go up. It's like if you take a test and you get a really good score, what happens to your average? It goes up. If you get a really bad score, your average goes down. Okay? These two right here, the median and the mode, they're never affected. Or if they are, it's so little that it doesn't really matter. Okay? And the range will always, what? Friendly. Not lower. Can never go lower. The range is always going to get bigger. Because if there's an outlier, it just means the numbers are more spread out. Does that make sense? Okay? So if you flip the page, I'm going to go back to my single page display. How does the outlier affect the mean? Okay? The mean goes up in this case. Okay, with this set of data, it went up. I also want you to put on here, it would go down if the outlier was a low number. Okay, so it is going to make a difference. If the outlier is big, like 51, it goes up. If the outlier is low, it goes down. How about the median? What did we say? How did it affect the median? It stayed the same, so it didn't. So there's no effect on the median. How about the mode? Did the mode change?
No.
Nope. So no effect on the mode. And the range always gets bigger, higher, so it goes up. The range will always go up, no matter what. Okay, so the last part of this is when do we use these things? When is it most useful? Okay. I think we hear average a lot. That tends to be the most commonly used one, but it's not always the most useful. Okay? The mean or the average is most useful when the data set does not have an outlier. Okay, circle those things. We would use the mean if there's no outlier in the data. Why don't we want to use the mean when there's an outlier? What did we just see? It's gonna change it by more, okay? So if there's outliers, we wouldn't wanna use that. Okay, the median, we would use if it has an outlier. Because like in the last set of data, did the median change because of the outlier? No. So if there is an outlier, then use the median, the mode. Okay, I will tell you that typically we don't use the mode. Do not use the mode if it's numbers. The only time we would use the mode says if you need to show which values occur the most often. If it's categories, then maybe you're not able to find the mean or the median. Like if I surveyed you guys about your favorite color, am I going to be able to add them all up and divide? No, that's not going to work. Okay? So if it's categories like election results, like who did you vote for, okay, or your favorite color or something like that, then we would use the mode. Otherwise, we would use either the mean or the median. And then the range we only use if we need to show the spread of the data. So that's our keyword there, spread. Okay, so let's look at a couple and decide which one we should use. So here we have this situation. Competitors receive the following scores for their performance in a gymnastics competition. Okay, there's a lot of them. 9.3, 8.3, 8.5, 9.1, 8.2, 8.9, 0.8, 8.7, 8.8, 8.1, 9.2, 9.0, 8.6. Okay, if you're a gymnast, you know most of those scores are really good. If you know anything about gymnastics, you know there's one score in there that's not very good at all. Which one is it? Griffin?
0.8.
The 0.8. That's really bad. Like they fell on pretty much everything and the judges just felt bad and needed to give them some sort of a score. So which measure of central tendency, either the mean, the median, or the mode, do you think we would use for this set of data? What should we use? Would we use the mean, the median, or the mode? So if we go back to the next slide, remember when it's most useful when? The mean if you don't have any outliers, the median if you have an outlier, the mode if it's categories. Which one should we use? Caleb.
Median.
The median, why?
Because it has an outlier.
The median because there is an outlier. Okay. If there wasn't that really low score, then we would have used the mean. Okay, so in this case, we'd use the median because there is an outlier. Okay, look at the next one. Employees at a store earned $275, $330, $290, $300, $350, $365, and $309 during 1 week. Which measure would make the salaries the highest? Okay, if we had to choose which one would make everything seem the highest, in this case, we kind of have to figure them out. So I want you to take a minute, couple minutes. I want you to find each measure of central tendency. Find the mean, the median, and the mode. Use your calculator. what's the mean? What did you get? Caleb.
217.
317. When you add them all up, you get 2,219 divided by the 7, $317. Okay, what'd you get for the median? Tyler. 309. Putting them in order, you have 275, 290, 300, 309, 330, 350, and 365. Working your way to the middle. 309 is the middle number. And then what's the mode? Is there a mode?
No.
No. There's no mode. So which one makes their salaries seem the highest? Would you use the mean, the median, or the mode? Caleb.
Mean.
The mean. The mean makes the salaries the highest. So why would a store owner want to use the mean instead of the median? What might they be doing? Any ideas? Why might it be useful to know that? Here's my guess. They might be placing an ad to hire someone. Would you want to tell someone you'll make an average of $317 a week? Or the median salary is $309. Which one would you want to advertise? The $317, right? You're more likely to get people to apply for the job if they think they're going to make more. Does that mean they're going to make more? No. Okay? They're probably going to start you off down here. Right? If you're just starting, you're probably starting at the 275 or less. But they're going to tell you it's an average of 317. That makes sense to everyone? Okay. So on Friday when we talk about misleading statistics, that's also how they can mislead you. Okay. Last one. This one is the ages of the parents of the 8th grade class are 37, 39, 35, 44, 40, 40, 39, 34, 49, 41, and 42. Would you use the mean, the median, or the mode to describe the data? What do you think? The mean, the median, or the mode? Which one do you think is best? Yeah, Tyler. The mean? So she said, yeah. I would agree with the mean. Why would we use the mean in this case? Caleb?
Has no outlier.
Yeah, there's no outliers. There is not any outliers. All of the ages are pretty close. Okay? Questions there? All right.